Hello, Central Virginia, Lynchburg, and the general internet population. My name is Emili McPhail, and I am Miss Virginia. Thanks for joining us today. We are going to talk about Nutrition 101, and to teach us a little more, we have health and fitness professional Tara Birely.
Hi everyone, my name is Tara. I am a health fitness professional. I actually work in a corporate fitness center. I am also a nutrition coach. I am a personal trainer, and I actually teach group fitness classes as well. So I've been doing this for about 12 years. This is kind of my passion. I'm really excited to share with you.
Let's start with some basics. When you are looking at a plate, when you're planning a meal, what should you have? You showed me earlier a hand trick.
Right, so the really cool thing that I like to teach everyone is all you need is the palm of your hand to figure out what you need to eat. A palm size is about what you need for your protein. So there's some people that are larger, some people that are smaller, but your palm will always tell you how much protein you need. A fistful is what you need for vegetables, and that's about a cup. A palm or a scooped handful like this is about half a cup, and that's what you would need for something starchy like pasta, potatoes, even your fruit. And then every meal you also want a tablespoon, which is about your thumb size of fat. So something like avocado or some nut butter or even a little drizzle of olive oil.
All right, that feels simple enough. So when we're looking at the food and we're planning about some of the things that we want in our bodies to fuel our body, say, let's talk about the nutrition label. Right. Something that is one of the first things you see on a nutrition label and something that we hear about a lot when you're talking about diets is a calorie. Can you explain to us how I should be thinking about calories? What is a calorie?
So a calorie really is just the energy that you need to survive. We label everything with calories so we know how much is in this tiny little can of soup. Most of what you're going to read on a food label it's called the RDA, so recommended daily allowance, and that is based on a 2,000 calorie diet. For you and I, that's probably too much because we are not large enough to take in 2,000 calories a day unless we're extremely active. But that's what it's based on, so be aware of that also when you're looking at the food label, that it's based on something probably not you and I would take in, but a larger, or a man most times will be able to take in that amount of calories.
Okay, cool. So next we have fats, carbs, proteins, things like that. What should we be looking for when we're looking at a can like this?
So the first thing you're going to see on the can is the calories is normally at the top. Then you're also going to have fat, which is next, and then carbs, and then protein actually is at the bottom, which is kind of ironic because that's one of the most important things you should look at. But those three things are called macronutrients, so that's where you get all of your energy from. That's how you get all of your energy, is just those three things. So you don't get energy from cholesterol or the trans fat or the sodium. So those are the three most important things to really look at. The other thing you really want to consider, and actually the very first thing I check on my food label, is the ingredients. The longer the list of ingredients, the more processed it is, and the less likely you should eat it. So if you're finding something that has 5, 6, 7 ingredients, that's a better option for you. If you have something that has a bunch of words in it that you can't pronounce, probably want to put it back.
And I've heard, is it true that ingredients are listed by how much is in it? So the first thing is listed is what there is most of in that product. So like if you look at a can of fruit, but the first ingredient is like corn syrup.
Right.
Then it's mostly just sugar.
Then it's mostly just sugar. Absolutely. That's exactly right.
All right. And so you mentioned macronutrients, and I was told before this video that at the very bottom of the can are the micronutrients. Can you talk a little bit more about those?
So your micronutrients are going to be your vitamins and your minerals. And they should, on most labels, will give you like your vitamin A, your iron, your vitamin D, that sort of thing. And that will tell you how much is actually in it. The ironic thing is the foods that have the most micronutrients in them don't actually have food labels. So that's your fruits and your vegetables and things that you're going to find in the produce aisle that aren't going to have food labels on them.
And so they're listed in percentage, and that's, again, percentage of your daily value?
Right, exactly.
Okay. All right, so do you have any tips and tricks, just general things that we should look for? You know, we now know what the parts of the nutrition label is, or what the parts of the nutrition label are, but, you know, what should we be looking for?
If you're on a specific diet, there are certain things you probably want to consider. Your sugar content, the cholesterol content, your sodium content. So, for example, this can of soup has 870 milligrams of sodium in it. And when you look at the daily value, it's 36%. So the other thing you also need to look at is how many servings are in it. So this actually has 3 servings in it.
Oh.
Yeah. So now you're thinking, okay, well, now I need to take that number, multiply it by 3. So that's also really important when you're looking at any kind of food label is, okay, well, this package might be 300 calories, but if I eat the whole thing and there's 4 servings, I just ate 1,200 calories. So that's probably one of the most important things to also consider when you're talking about food labels.
And then, okay, so if you are in a grocery store and you're comparing like a name brand like Campbell's versus the Kroger brand, are those nutrition labels, do they usually look the same? Is it worth glancing between brands?
It absolutely is worth glancing at between brands because you have 2 different manufacturing companies making 2 different products. And sometimes the generic brand that's even less money will be a healthier option.
And you mentioned before that some of the healthiest foods don't have nutrition labels. Do you have recommendations or resources for learning about, produce that you're putting into your body too, and what specific vegetables give you?
Right. So there's definitely a lot of online resources. There's links that we can give out that will tell you what's in everything, what the serving size would be, what the carb content, the protein content, and the fat content would be on something like that. And there's also links that we could use that we could share for people to figure out, how many grams of fat am I supposed to be eating in a day? How many grams of carbs? How many grams of protein? So there's other ways to figure that out too, based on your height, your weight, your body fat percentage, that sort of thing.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thanks for all of the information that you shared with us. We will have some links in the description below. And so make sure that you head to our next video to watch us talk about healthy shopping and affordable eating with the mayor, and also some meals that take less time than a pizza.